David Grusch is suing a sheriff's office over information releases. This came to my attention from Skyfire News, where it states that a UFO whistleblower sues the sheriff's office over records release. So a retired Air Force officer who testified before Congress, aka David Grusch, that said that the US government is involved in decades in a secret crash retrieval and reverse engineer program involving UFOs, is suing Loudoun County Sheriff Mike Chapman and an unidentified sheriff office employee for releasing personal information about him. Now this story, it gets real deep, especially when we get into the nitty gritty like I'm about to now. So, David Grusch, a former intelligence officer, has been in the headlines for his shocking claims about UFOs. Grusch alleges that the US government has been concealing information about extraterrestrial encounters and an advanced alien technology for decades. His bold assertions have made him a high priority target as he continues to push for transparency and public disclosure. Now, I say that he's a high priority target because, of course, but just before he went public with this information, the US government, according to David Grusch, tried to have him thrown away, literally, like, into prison so that he couldn't come public. According to an article from the Loudoun Times, the lawsuit filed by Grusch alleges that Sheriff Mike Chapman and his office failed to properly release records related to Grusch's previous employment and involvement in investigations concerning UFOs. Grusch argues that these records are crucial for validating his claims and exposing the truth about the government's knowledge of extraterrestrial phenomena. Sheriff Mike Chapman, on the other hand, has maintained that his office followed all legal protocols in handing Grusch's records. The sheriff office asserts that they complied with regulations governing the release of such information, and any accusations of misconduct are unfounded. So you can see where this is clearly starting to become quite a he said, she said kind of situation, and this is why it's getting quite catfighty. The lawsuit highlights the intense scrutiny and pressure faced by individuals like Grusch, who challenge established narratives and demand transparency from powerful institutions, like in Grusch's case, the US government. It also underscores the complex legal battles that can arise when whistleblowers step forward with explosive information. David Grusch's high-profile case has garnered significant attention, not only because of its controversial claims, but also due to the broader implications for government accountability and public access to information. His lawsuit against the Sheriff Chapman is just one chapter in a much larger story about the quest for truth and the realm of unidentified flying objects. As this legal battle unfolds, though, they will be very sure to keep a very close eye on it, because it is absolutely heating up right now. It really is. But, annoyingly, when I go to try and have a little look at this this full article in its entirety, it's unavailable, apparently, for legal reasons. Now, I don't know what this is. We recognise you're attempting to access the website from a country belonging to the European Economic Area, EEA, including the EU, which enforces GDPR regulations. Therefore, access cannot be granted at this time for any issues, So I'm not actually able to access this website due to me being in the UK, which is, you know, annoying, but fortunately I was able to run it through an AI generator, and it was able to kind of pull the information for me, because that's registered over in the States. So where there's a will, there's a way. Anyway, moving forward, there has been some case information that has been released from Skyfire News. So we've got the case number. It's been filed on the 16th of July 2024. Filing fee paid, yes. Filing type, intentional tort. Number of plaintiffs, 1, so that's David Grusch. Number of defendants, 2, so that's the sheriff and the unidentified person from the office. Commenced by initial filing, bond, complex case, If there's any more than 3 plaintiffs or defendants indicated number of plaintiffs or number of defendants at the table above, please contact the court for additional party information. So we can see that the plaintiff, so the person that filed the lawsuit, was David Grusch. His attorney is Anthony Shin. Now we're going to get into that in just a moment, and can you see it here? So we can see that the defendant is Michael L. Chapman, their attorney here, and defendant is just been labelled as Jane Doe on the case, because obviously they are unidentified at this time. maybe for GDPR reasons as well. I don't know if the GDPR works as well in the USA. Obviously, GDPR here is basically data protection, so you're not allowed to basically release data without it being properly filed and all the rest of it. Is a huge thing over in the UK especially. But looking a bit further into the attorneys, so the attorney is Anthony Shin, of course. Now, I did a bit of digging, and he's got his own law firm called Shin PLC, small firm attention, big law results. And we're different. Our standards of excellence are driven by our philosophy of producing results without compromise. It's possible to provide exceptional work product while offering great overall experience through any legal journey. The secret exists in our people. Not only do our people have the intellect, experience and confidence to handle the most complex issues, but we also have the emotional bandwidth to actually care. At the end of the day, we can relate because we are people just like you, which of course sounds fantastic. But I guess when you're defending someone as high profile as David Grusch, these guys have probably got their work cut out because they are taking down the big boys. But to look further into Anthony Shin more specifically, I managed to find his LinkedIn profile. Now, I never really used LinkedIn. It looks like, I'm pretty sure it's just Facebook, but for if you're trying to employ someone. So, like I say, there's not much about him, but there's been one article made back in 2016 arguing bail, bond, or both things you need to both before you file a bond, and then it's just terminology. Bail is actual release, bond basically it's just him flexing his knowledge on what he can actually help with. So thus far it's stuck in jail, we can bail. So from what I could see based off of his law website, and he is a full-fledged attorney, but it seems to be a bit more like trying to bail someone out of jail thus far, and that seems to be as far as his services go. But obviously he's taken on the David Grusch case, but we can also actually see in the services on Shin PLC we've got corporate law, wealth management, consumer law, employment law, water, flood, mold law, commercial and business law, real estate litigation, products liability law. Basically, they cover absolutely everything. But I think this comes under tort litigation, because if we look back onto here, the case was intentional tort, filing type intentional tort. So we've got intentional torts right here. In the realm of tort litigation, making victims whole is paramount. Our firm is dedicated to advocating for those who have suffered harm due to negligence and or intentional wrongdoing of others. So this is what it comes down as. With a proven track record of success, our attorneys are ready to pursue maximum compensation for our clients, whether it's a result of negligence, fraud, product liability and or mold exposure. We are committed to tirelessly defending our clients' rights. So there you go. There is a little bit of information for you guys regarding the David Grusch latest. Basically, he's taken people to court because they failed to release the correct information, though the sheriff's office are defending it, stating that they did, in fact, follow all policies and procedures. I mean, I'm not too in the know about legal practices over in the States, so where does this stand for you guys? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to jump to get the hell out of that like button if you have not already. Subscribe if you're new, and tickle my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload to the channel. And until next time, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed. Cannot wait to see you in the next one, and I'll speak to you later. Peace.